Oh boy, things might be worse than I even thought. Today, I've got some bad news to share for you if you're a superhero fan. And honestly, I would put myself right in that list of being a superhero fan. Whether you're a fan of DC or Marvel, this is definitely not looking good. What am I talking about? Well, Lego did go on ahead and release their first half of the year results, which is essentially something that they do twice a year, of course. And they go on ahead and mostly release this for informing investors about how well the brand is doing. So this has a bunch of obviously some boring information for many people, like, hey, is the brand more or less profitable? How much money did they make? Are they rising or lowering the amount of actual unit sales, etc.? We're going to focus on is the quadrant that we see that is titled top themes. So the reason why that's interesting is because it essentially surmises the most popular themes on a semi-annual basis. And if you look at that list, there is a very, very obvious glaring omission from that list that makes you kind of scratch your head and go like, oh boy, that's not good. Because if you look at that list, you'll see that Lego Star Wars made the list, Lego City made the list, Lego Technic made the list, Lego Icons, Lego Friends, and Lego Harry Potter. Now, the big great omission there is that I do not see Lego Spider-Man or Lego Marvel superheroes. That is definitely not good, because obviously that shows some type of a decline in the popularity of that particular brand, at least in Lego form. Now, again, we could argue about whether or not that is happening across the board, because I feel like Marvel Legends have been selling worse as well. But the point is, it is fascinating to see that Marvel is not on this list. The reason why I'm saying only Marvel is not because I'm a DC fanboy, because DC doesn't really get a lot of sets, so I don't really expect it to make this list. I don't really anticipate DC to outperform some of these themes when they get 4 or 5 sets a year. So there's really not much that you expect for DC to go on ahead and generate in terms of revenue. But with Marvel, I mean, they've gotten sets pretty much for every major movie, right? Like, we've got sets for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, we got sets for No Way Home, we got sets for Eternals, we got sets for Shang-Chi. So it's kind of surprising to me personally to see that Lego Marvel did not make this list, particularly against something like Lego Harry Potter or Lego Friends. Now, again, Friends, I guess because I'm not really following that line, I don't really know anything about it, so I wouldn't know how well or poorly it sells. But as far as I know, Harry Potter is not that popular as far as like when we compare it to something like Marvel itself. So it's just fascinating to see that Harry Potter makes this list and none of the Marvel titles, whether it be Spider-Man or Marvel as a whole, do not actually crack this list. Are you surprised by this? Are you not surprised by this? Is this going to be a kind of a trajectory for Marvel superheroes now, just like we saw with DC superheroes, where they slowly but surely dwindled down how many sets they were releasing to now we basically get almost nothing unless if it's something Batman related? Will that be the future for Marvel as well? Are we going to see any Marvel sets in the future, or are they going to start making less and less of them, considering they are not a top performing brand?